Hey, what's going on, guys? So, I just wanted to have a quick chat with you guys about the latest Moana film. I'm going to go ahead and just say that this is not going to be a review because if you couldn't tell by the title of this video, I have not seen Moana, or nor do I plan to be honest with you. And I kind of just want to give an explanation for why, just in case anyone's wondering, because I do usually try to review all the major blockbusters, or at least the vast majority of them that come out. Um, this is just, I'm not trying to come down hard on anybody that does decide to go see it, that maybe has young girls that want to go or whatever. If you want to go, I hope you all have a great time. I'm not trying to come down or act like you're a bad person. I'm just giving simply why I won't be reviewing this movie and why I honestly plan on never watching it, or at least not anytime soon. Definitely not in theaters. So, basically, the way Disney remakes are with me, I've always just felt like there is something so cynical, for lack of a better term, with a lot of Disney's remakes. I mean, some movies that are remakes can be just as good, if not better, than the original. For example, a lot of people don't realize in 1986 that Scarface is actually a remake of the same film from I want to say it's like a really older film. I can't remember the years, like in the 30s to 50s. But, what's the movie that everyone remembers? The 86 one with Al Pacino. So, there's definitely exceptions to where remakes can actually be better. In fact, I was shocked growing up, certain movies that I just thought, were the original, they weren't. And so, all that to say, I have no problem with remakes when they're done right and when they actually add something new. And even if we just want to talk about Disney as a whole, I quite enjoyed the Lilo and Stitch film that came out last year, I think it was. I think it's far and away the best Disney remake. I have seen the original. I'm not saying it's necessarily better than the original film, but to me, it did just enough differently. It put its own spin on it, but also it didn't have these drab colors. The colors didn't feel muted. It was vibrant. It captured a lot of the charm of the original. I mean, yes, you had Stitch, and, obviously you'll go a long way just by having Stitch in it, but just the fact that Stitch was this very energetic character, helped it out, but he was also funny. A lot of the humor didn't just stem from what we had already seen. Yes, there were some pokes and some jabs and nods, whatever you may call them, about certain things that happened in the original, but here the humor was fresh. It just felt vibrant, original, all of that. So Lilo and Stitch, another great example of a remake that, in my opinion, actually worked quite well. But so many of these other remakes, whether we're talking about Snow White, whether we're talking about the Peter Pan one on Disney Plus that I genuinely could not get through watching, Pinocchio, all of these movies, Lion King, they're just literally shot for shot remakes of the original, but they add nothing new. The colors are muted, kind of what I already mentioned. It just seems like all the magic is just sucked away, and you're left with this bare bones, just corporate greed at its core, just movie. I mean, that's really all these movies are. They're here to make a quick buck, to prey on nostalgia, and I just don't like it. And I think Moana is kind of my tipping point for this, because at least with these other movies, at least they were with Aladdin, for example, it's 30, 40 years old. Lion King, 30, 40 years old. And, obviously you got Snow White, and, it keeps going back. But where I have issue with this is Moana came out not even 10 years ago. I think it was probably right at 10 years. I can't remember the exact month, but it was 2016. I vividly remember going to go see the first Moana movie in the theaters. And I'm saying all of this to say, this movie did not need to be remade. In fact, Moana 2, I can't remember, was it last year or the year before? You guys can let me know in the comments. And let me know when that movie came out. But it was literally a year or two ago that we got a sequel to the animated Moana movie. I haven't seen Moana 2. I wasn't one of those, I'm just not the target demographic for the first Moana. It was a fine movie. I just didn't love it the way some people did. But to have, a sequel to that movie come out just a couple years ago, make $1 billion, and then you're going to just remake it for literally what reason? I would have rather them rushed a third movie than just completely remade this film, or the first film. Yeah, I'm at a loss for words. Honestly, it just seems repulsive. I think the way Disney goes about it isn't hey, let's put an interesting spin on these live action remakes. Sometimes they can do that. And I'm not the biggest Maleficent fan. I'll be completely honest with you guys, but at least Maleficent seemed like it tried to take Sleeping Beauty and just put a different spin on it. And I'm okay with remakes that do that, even if, like I said, Maleficent did have some issues with it, but it didn't feel like just a cynical Sleeping Beauty remake compared to a lot of the other stuff they've done. And I mean, even Aladdin, I know Aladdin's like definitely one of the better ones, but I think at the same time, it suffers from a lot of the same issues as well. I think people just like it more because of Will Smith as the genie, which honestly, he filled Robin Williams' shoes perfectly in that role. So I can't complain with that either. But, with Moana, you're just taking a movie that honestly, you could do so much more with in the animated field. I can't remember if I heard that they're working on a third Moana movie, but why not just do that? Like, just the fact that they seem like they're going, it's the way Disney seems with their remakes to be like, we can do better. It's not, let's put a different spin on it. It's, we think we can do a better job at making this movie than the people that did it 30, 40, in this case, 10 years ago. It's just cynical. It's honestly just disturbing from somebody who loves movies, somebody who appreciates the people that, put so much time and effort into movies and the craft, from the VFX artists to the actors themselves, people behind the scenes. Like, it takes so much to make a movie. And I get it. I'm sure Moana wasn't easy. I mean, I think the girl that plays Moana, I can't think of her name in this remake, she does look like she fits the role well. Dwayne Johnson as Maui looks a little strange, but, at the same time, like, it's the same guy that voiced him. So I feel like they kind of just went with it to have that additional star power and such. But at the end of the day, I cannot bring myself to go watch this movie. And I get into movies for free. That's how I go see so much, and I'm able to give you guys reviews pretty soon after movies release, because I have we have a bunch of Regals near me, so it's an unlimited pass. No, Regal did not pay me to make this video and put this promo in. I'm just simply explaining to you guys what I have. So basically, to tell you, I can get into this movie for free, and I still refuse to go. Like, I just genuinely, I think I'm done with Disney remakes. I mean, the only two that I would shell out money to go see would be like maybe Hercules or Hunchback of Notre Dame. But, those movies would be cool to see in live action. No one's begging for a Moana in live action. And I think Rotten Tomatoes, like, the critics are absolutely roasting this movie right now. So it's not like it's exactly doing well. I think it might do decent at the box office, but it's probably not going to make as much as Moana 2. Because, I'm sure it'll have a front-loaded opening weekend, if even that. But you've got the Odyssey coming out next week, which I will definitely be going to see in IMAX, and of course, giving you my thoughts on that as well. And additionally, you've also got Spider-Man comes out like 2 weeks after that. So this movie, and then you got Toy Story 5 still crushing it. I mean, I love Toy Story 5. You guys can go check out my review for that. There's people that I know that are going to go see these Toy Story 5 multiple times over with their kids. I just don't know if Moana is going to be as successful as Disney wanted. And I hope this shows that, either stop making remakes entirely and focus on originals or sequels to movies that maybe need sequels. Like, that would be an ideal concept, I know. Or at least if you're going to do remakes, do something to like, twist the mythology, like spin what we know. I don't just want a shot for shot remake. Give me something new and give me a reason for this movie actually existing. But yeah, in a nutshell, that's just my thoughts. I feel like I had to get on here and kind of just rant for a little bit, because I just feel like the more Disney does these remakes, again, with the exception of Lilo and Stitch, I feel like the majority of them just do not work, and they just seem very cynical, very greedy, and it really disappoints me to see movies that really shouldn't have fail while people keep going out and supporting this garbage. But, again, I'm not trying to dissuade anybody from not going to see it. If you guys have already seen it, great. I'm glad you saw it. I hope you had a fantastic time and that you love the movie. I really do. I'm not trying to come down on anybody. I'm just giving you my piece as where I stand with these live action remakes, why I probably won't be reviewing Moana or any future live action remakes, unless maybe it's like the Lilo and Stitch 2 movie or something like that. But just let me know in the comments down below, guys. Am I tripping? Am I actually, spitting some facts here? Just let me know. Let me know your thoughts on Moana. If you have seen it, I'd love to, know your opinions of it. If you think it's a worthy adaptation, or if you prefer the animated, which from what it sounds like, I think most people will prefer the animated version. But just let me know in the comments down below. And as always, take care, guys.